If you've been feeling sluggish, this 30-minute flow will energize your whole body. My name is Becky, and today I'm joined by a very snoozy Bruce the Bunny. We'll start in a cross-legged seat, sitting up nice and tall, and begin to take some big circles with the torso, Sufi grind, keeping sitting bones grounded, breathing in as you come forward, and then breathing out as you round back. Making these circles nice and big, filling into the shoulders, low back, the hips. And then switching directions when you're ready. Make this your last circle, sitting up nice and tall. And then make fists and begin to circle the wrists, circling in one direction and then the other. And then maybe see if you can circle in alternate directions. Let's get the brain waking up too. Then take the backs of the hands together and fan the hands in a circle. If you spend a lot of time working at a computer, this might feel really interesting, switching directions. Nice, and then interlace the fingers, palms turn out, and straighten the arms in front of you, then overhead. Take a big side stretch to the right. Back to center, and then stretching to the left. Returning to center, arms out in front of you, but palms face in this time, and round through the upper back, separating the scapula. Release, and then just shake it out. From here, come onto hands and knees, tabletop position. Fingers spread nice and wide, press through the tops of the feet, cat-cow. Inhale to cow, chest reaches forward. Exhale, rounding spine, chin to chest. Engaging the core as you come forward into cow. And again as you round to cat. Last round. And then return to a tabletop, neutral spine, tucking the toes, and press the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Fingers are spread wide, pressing through the knuckles, pedaling out the feet. See if you can lift the tailbone even higher. Find stillness. And then left hand reaches for right ankle for a twist. Maybe bending deeply into the left leg here. Okay, releasing that twist, and then take that to the other side. So right hand reaches for left ankle. Maybe you're bending into that right knee. And then release back to down dog. From here, walking hands back towards the feet, finding a forward fold at the back of your mat. Take hold of opposite elbows and sway from side to side, releasing any tension from the neck. Crown of the head reaches to the ground. Find stillness, then take hands to hips, bend the knees, and with a long spine, rise up to stand. From here, we'll take breath of joy, a really energizing pranayama. I'll explain it first. The inhale is split into 3 parts. You'll breathe through the nose, inhaling a third of the way, and this inhale is a short, sharp sniff, and you'll reach your arms forward. Then you'll inhale again, another short sniff, so to fill your lungs 2/3 of the way full, opening arms wide, and then once more sniffing, filling your lungs to the top as you lift arms overhead, and then release the breath through the mouth with a loud sigh as you flop forward. If that's not clear, just watch me demoing here, and then just join in when you're ready. We're repeating this a number of times. So really letting go and flopping over as you fold on the exhale. Releasing any tension. Making those inhales nice and short and sharp. Okay, make this your last round, and then when you're in your forward fold, stay there and just sway from side to side, swinging nice and loose. Just come into stillness and then slowly begin to roll up through the spine to stand, coming to Tadasana at the top of your mat. From here, we'll take Surya Namaskar A 3 times. So when you're ready, inhale to sweep arms overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Stepping back to plank, lowering knees for this first one, and then lowering all the way to belly, hugging elbows in. Inhale to baby cobra. Exhale, lower and pressing back to downward dog. Just reconnecting with your breath in your down dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Releasing back to fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, rising up. And then exhale, Tadasana. Again, inhale, lifting the arms. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, stepping back to plank, lowering all the way to belly. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, releasing back to downward dog. Making sure fingers are spread nice and wide in your down dog. Lifting that tailbone up super high. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, stepping up to forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, rebend. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms reach. Exhale, Tadasana. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, half lift. Exhale, stepping back to plank. Maybe chaturanga, this time shifting forward, bending the elbows halfway. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg lifts up towards the ceiling. Exhale, drawing knee into chest and stepping right foot next to right thumb, lowering back knee, coming up into low lunge. From here, taking right hand to right hip and taking a side stretch over to the right. Releasing, uprighting your spine, shuffling the front foot forward a little bit, coming into half split, so straightening through that front leg. And scissoring the inner thighs together to help you find a neutral pelvis, so your right hip is shifting back, left hip forward. Okay, rebending into your low lunge, and I'm just taking hold of 2 yoga blocks to frame the foot. This is optional. Lifting back knee, runner's lunge, and then straightening through both legs and folding over the right leg, long pyramid. Maybe even flexing the right toes up towards the face. And again, thinking about sending that right hip back, left hip forward. Rebending into your runner's lunge. And then moving the blocks aside if you're using them, stepping back to plank and taking Vinyasa, so shifting forward into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, chest reaches forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left side, left leg lifts on an inhale. Exhale, stepping the left foot forward, low lunge, back knee lowers. Taking a side stretch over to the left. Okay, uprighting your spine. Now setting up for half splits, maybe shuffling that front foot forward a little bit, and then folding over the front leg any amount. Rebending into the front leg, maybe taking your blocks to frame the foot as you lift the back knee, and then straighten through both legs, long pyramid. And just reconnecting with your breath here. Left toes flexing towards the face. Okay, rebending back into runner's lunge, moving your blocks aside and then stepping back into plank, shifting forward, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward dog. Lowering the knees and sitting the hips back into child's pose. Maybe making this a wide leg child's pose, so knees come wide, big toes touch. And then folding forward, arms can be reaching forward or behind, completely up to you. I also think it's nice to make a diamond shape with the arms here. That just helps to really allow the shoulders to relax. Keep walking yourself back up, coming into a tabletop, making sure you've got room in front of you, taking the hands forward a lot and then sinking the chest down towards the mat, puppy pose. Trying to keep your hips stacked over the knees, maybe forehead comes to a block or to the mat, or if the space is available, lifting chin towards the mat. If this is feeling really intense in the shoulders, that's information. You listen to that and maybe that's a sign to back out of the pose a little bit. Now moving really slowly, gently release and lowering forearms onto mat, about shoulders width apart, maybe slightly narrow. You can also turn the hands in or clasp hands, coming up into dolphin. So lifting hips up nice and high, walking the feet in. And then think about drawing the chest back towards the knees. Pressing through the forearms, seeing if you can lift up out of the forearms. Maybe walking the feet in a little bit closer. And then from here transitioning into forearm plank. Okay, lowering hips so that they're in line with the shoulders. Mine are a little bit too high here, which is a little bit annoying. Always the joy of filming yourself. You can see where your alignment isn't quite where you think it is. This is called proprioception, knowledge of where the body is in space. Something that we can always work on. Releasing that down. Just come to lie on your belly, maybe making a pillow for the forehead. Just resting for a moment. And then from here, clasping hands behind the back, sending knuckles towards the feet as you lift the chest and lift the feet, locust pose. Think about keeping the back of the neck nice and long here. So your gaze is probably just about on the floor, just in front of your yoga mat. And then lower back down and press back into a downward dog. And we'll continue our flow from here. Alright, on your next inhale, send your right leg up towards the ceiling, bending the knee, opening up the hip. Leveling out the hip, drawing the knee in towards the chest, and then stepping the foot in between the hands and circle the arms up, coming into warrior two, bending deeply through that front knee. Maybe just taking a moment to adjust your feet, taking a nice wide stance. Lots of energy out through the arms, but softening the shoulders. Notice if your shoulders are up by the ears. Shoulders stacking over the hips. Notice if you have a tendency to reach forward in your warrior two. Alright, from here, straightening through the front leg, and then heel toeing the back foot in a little bit just to shorten your stance, setting up for triangle pose. Reaching forward, and then lowering. Right arm to right shin or ankle or to a block. Left arm reaches up towards the ceiling and only looking up towards the left hand if that feels okay on your neck. And really think about rotating your chest up towards the ceiling. Prioritizing finding lots of length in the spine here. Alright, lifting up the torso, rebending into your warrior two. And now setting up for half moon, grabbing hold of a yoga block, placing it in front of you to the outside of the pinky toe edge of the foot. And then when you're ready, begin to lift up that back foot, sending so much energy out through the back foot. Option to take sugar cane if that's within your practice, taking hold of the inside of the foot, sending the knee up high, and really think about pushing the hips forward if you're taking this pose. Okay, releasing the back foot if you've got it, and then gently transitioning back into warrior two. From here, flipping front palm up, reversing your warrior, and then cartwheeling the arms forward to side angle. Maybe taking right hand to a block, staying here, or maybe finding a half bind or a full bind if that's within your practice. If you're taking the bind, really think of rolling the left shoulder open, releasing your bind, then transitioning back into runner's lunge, stepping back to plank, Vinyasa. Trying not to rush your Vinyasa, moving nice and slow. Really nice, everybody, and we'll take that to the second side. So on your next inhale, lifting right foot towards the sky, bending into the knee, opening up the hip. Right, leveling out the hips, and then drawing left knee in towards the chest and stepping the foot in between the hands, circling the arms up into your warrior two. Don't mind me, I'm just going to turn around so that I don't have my back to you for this whole side of the sequence. There's always so much we can refine in our warrior two, sinking deeper into the hips, engaging through the legs, sending lots of energy out through both feet, energetically drawing the feet in towards each other. Always lots to think about, straightening through that front knee. Now maybe shortening your stance a little bit. We're setting up for triangle, reaching forward, and then lowering the torso. Finding lots of length out through both sides of the waist, rotating the upper spine up towards the ceiling. Shoulders are stacked. And don't forget about your legs, so much energy through the legs here. Coming back up into warrior two, just for a moment. And then we'll set up for half moon, transitioning straight into it or getting hold of your block, placing it to the outside of the foot, right in front of you, and then stepping forward, bending into that standing leg until you've got your balance, and then you can straighten it, but trying to keep a micro bend in the knees so we're avoiding any hyperextension. Options: take sugar cane if that's in your practice. Not worrying if you wobble or fall out like I just did, or you can style it out like me and then just come back into your half moon. And then with grace, coming back into warrior two, and just shuffling the feet so that your alignment is lovely. It's quite difficult to transition from half moon into warrior two with the kind of length of stance that we want. Reversing warrior, side angle. Okay, and just taking your version of side angle that feels right in your body today. So maybe that's taking a half bind, maybe that's a full bind, if that feels okay on your shoulders. If you are taking that full bind, remembering to rotate the upper spine towards the ceiling, rolling that shoulder back. Okay, slowly unwinding out of here, runner's lunge, and then stepping back to plank, Vinyasa, or skip it. You can always skip a Vinyasa, go straight to down dog, or take child's pose. Nice, wherever you are, we're all going to meet in child's pose. And just really think about sinking deeper into your mat on every exhale here. Alright, walking yourself back up and just shifting the hips to one side, transitioning to a seated pose Dandasana, legs out straight in front of you. Maybe elevating the hips by sitting up on a block or the edge of a rolled up blanket. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through the spine. And then bending into your right knee, opening it out to the side. Setting up for Janu Shirshasana, forward fold, so arms reach, and then leading with the chest. Couldn't think of what the word there. Coming into a forward fold, arms just land where they land. If that is to the fit, then fine. If not, no stress. Slowly release, sitting up tall. And we'll just take that straight to the other side, so bending into the left leg this time, opening the knee out to the side. Sitting up nice and tall, arms reach and leading with the chest. Got the word right that time. Coming into your forward fold, folding over the straight leg. Keeping an engagement in that right leg, so just lifting the kneecap. The knee can be slightly bent. And release, uprighting your spine. Alright, making sure you've got room behind you. Setting up for fish, so taking the hands underneath the glutes, begin to lie back onto the forearms, lifting chest up towards the ceiling and placing the back of the head on the mat. So elbows are really hugging in close towards the body. And I'm pointing through my feet here as well. Bruce has given them a sniff. So heart openers like this or any kind of back bend is really good for energizing the body. So a great thing to incorporate into any morning practice or any time really when you're looking for an energy boost. And just bringing your awareness back to your breath here. Gently release, bringing chin in towards the chest. And then slowly hugging knees in towards the chest, maybe rocking a little bit from side to side, giving yourself a nice big hug. And as you rock slowly from side to side, really think about giving the low back a nice massage. Lowering the feet. From here, taking your right ankle over the top of your left knee, flexing through the right foot. Staying there, or maybe lifting the left foot, clasping hands behind the thigh or around the shin. Ankle to knee pose, reclined pigeon. Lowering the foot back down, but keeping the shape and then just sending your knees over to the left. Maybe the right foot connects with the floor. Maybe it doesn't. Turning gaze to the right or keep looking up towards the ceiling. Slowly release. And switching sides, so left ankle crossing over right knee, flexing through the left foot. Staying there or lifting up the right leg. Taking hold behind the thigh or the shin. And then keeping this shape but releasing your right foot to the mat. Slowly draw your leg situation over to the right. Maybe the left foot connects with the floor. And then just gently release. Just take a moment to rest here with soles of feet on the mat, knees bent. And then when you're ready, just straightening legs out onto the mat, allowing the feet to flop open, palms face up towards the ceiling. Taking a moment to rest in Shavasana. Relaxing the forehead, allowing the cheeks to soften, releasing any tension in the jaw, softening through the shoulders, and just mentally scanning through the rest of the body, softening every single muscle. Bring awareness back to your breath. Let's take a cleansing breath together. So releasing all the air out of your body. And then making your next inhale long, slow and deep. Filling the body with breath. And then just pausing at the top. Sipping in a little bit more air. And then releasing that breath out of your mouth. Begin to find some movement in the fingers and the toes. Taking arms overhead, big body stretch. And then bending into one knee and then the other, rolling onto your right side. Pausing for a moment. And then pressing yourself up into a seated position. Palms face down on the knees. Sitting up nice and tall. Inhale to sweep arms overhead. And exhale, lower the arms back down. Again, inhale, lifting arms up. And exhale, releasing. Once more, inhale, arms lift, palms touch this time. Exhale, drawing palms in front of the chest. And bowing forward. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed this class. Please feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I hope to see you again very soon.